a search for closure.
This was a needle in the haystack.
Friends and family of a missing northern Kentucky couple continue to search for a second body a day after investigators found one in Clark County.
We didn't know what to expect.
Now friends of a man who survived a triple fatal crash are helping his family. And it's the kickoff to campaign season. What Senator Rand Paul and Lexington Mayor Jim Gray had to say to each other at today's Fancy Farm picnic.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
You are watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. We will get to those stories in just a moment, but first we are tracking a breaking news alert in Lee County. State police say a murder investigation that started Friday has led them to a second body. Troopers found the body just before dark tonight on Hell Creek Road. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is live outside the jail in Beattyville, where police have some people in custody. Caitlin.
Kristen, where police found this second body was deep in the woods off of a gravel road. We saw police leave in a trooper car with a man in the back seat. Now, it was just before dark when police found a man dead in the brush off Hell Creek Road. Police say death investigation in Lee County yesterday led them to this discovery. It was a very active scene late this evening. Police said they had a couple of people in custody, but a couple others were still on the loose. According to Three Fork Jail's inmate roster, a man named Anthony Taylor has been booked into the jail on a murder charge. Around 9:50 tonight, a second man, Kevin Kendall, was booked into the same jail, also on a murder charge. Now, police on scene said there won't be much more information until tomorrow when the coroner can identify the man and notify his family. Live in Lee County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. Storms are moving out of the bluegrass, and we will finally get a break from the rain. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell takes a look at the Sunday forecast.
At least for one day, Kristen, we will track a few showers and thunderstorms across maybe southeastern Kentucky, but for the most part, we are dry tomorrow. We're so dry tonight that we're looking at temperatures. The only thing is the air, not so dry yet, still a little on the sticky side. Temperatures running low in mid-70s throughout most of central and eastern Kentucky. 74 here in Lexington. London comes in at the same. We look at our Defender radar network, and there you see some of the leftover moisture. But the frontal boundary that brought the chances of showers and thunderstorms to the area today is well to our south, hanging out across Tennessee. So it's driving most of the moisture right on out of here. So as we look at our forecast, so we go into the day tomorrow, we'll go through the hour by hour overnight tonight. Most of the clouds will try to clear up some, especially as we get closer to the early morning hours. See the thick stuff trying to come apart. And then we get into more of a sunnier day, at least, with a mix of sun and clouds. Kind of what we had out there this afternoon, this evening, after those showers and thunderstorms pass through. Full sunshine. That's where we end up, but only for one day. We will track the rest of the rain chances coming up.
Investigators still haven't identified the body found Friday in Clark County, but family and friends of a missing northern Kentucky couple are sure it's one of their loved ones. Today, they spent the day searching for a second body in nearby Montgomery County. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has the latest on the search in our top story at 11.
It's been a difficult month since Bobby Jones and Crystal Warner went missing. Family and friends search for answers. Investigators search for clues.
Part of the problem's been knowing where to search and then letting people know so that they can keep their eyes out.
Jennifer Jordan Hall is the director of KYK9 Search and Reunite Services, a nonprofit volunteer organization. They've brought their dogs out for weeks now, trying to find a trace that could lead them to Jones or Warner's bodies. They were back out searching on Saturday. While the canines searched here in Montgomery County, several other groups of family and friends searched at different places in Clark County.
The families worked really hard, and it's just to see them trying to find Bobby and Crystal and every day searching for them and trying to help them do that.
Family members say they're still waiting to hear whether a body found in Clark County on Friday belongs to either Jones or Warner. Meanwhile, their search for closure continues.
And the families have both been so strong, and we've been really honored to work with them. And I just really hope we can find them as soon as possible.
In Montgomery County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Hall says just last week crews searched the area in Clark County where deputies found the body. At that time, they did not have dogs helping with the search. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused a deadly crash in Powell County. The coroner tells us the driver lost control on Snow Creek Road near Clay City around 12:30 last night. The truck went over an embankment. The driver was able to climb out and flag someone down for help. The coroner says a passenger in the truck died at the scene. She was 20-year-old Jessica Vance. The driver went to the hospital. A sheriff's deputy is recovering tonight after investigators say a man rammed his car into the deputy's cruiser. The Martin County Sheriff says deputies went out to an assault in the IGA parking lot last night. The sheriff says the man involved in the assault called 911 to explain his side of the story. But when Deputy Paul Witten pulled up, the sheriff says the man attacked him.
Billy Greer pulls in and starts ramming his car without any provocation at all.
Deputies say Witten's airbag deployed. His window is broken. He is expected to be okay. Deputies arrested Greer this morning. He faces several charges, including assault against a police officer. He was the sole survivor. A Boyle County man is still in the hospital, recovering from injuries he suffered in a crash last month. 20-year-old Trevor Thompson's 3 friends died in the wreck. Today, people put on a fundraiser to help pay his medical bills. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner talked to Thompson's mother about the support.
Dozens gathered Saturday night for a mutual love.
The cars and the trucks, you know, especially the people.
Love the smell of race fuel, the way they sound.
Behind all the cars and loud noises was the reason for meeting, and that's Trevor Thompson. Last month, a fiery crash killed 3 people. Thompson was the 4th person in the car. A passerby pulled him out.
It was very scary because we didn't know what to expect.
Weeks later, the 20-year-old is at Cardinal Hill Hospital. Friends that have known him for
A couple years. Really. A while.
Thought he'd need help with medical costs.
Cars has always been something we've always bonded with, so we figured this would be the best thing for him.
A lot of friends and family came out Saturday to support Trevor Thompson, but many strangers were here too. They tell us there wasn't a second where they thought they shouldn't be here to help.
Why not? You know, what's the point in not helping if you can?
I mean, that's the way the good Lord wants you to be, you know. Just take care of other people, you know. And that's the way it's got to be. No doubt in my mind.
While many rev their engines and raise money for the guy who loves cars.
He's getting restless and bored and agitated because he's wanting out of the bed, he's wanting to move, but he's not able to.
Hey, somebody's here to talk to you.
We got to chat with Thompson on the phone.
Yeah, dude, they released me. I tried to go.
He's recovering, and friends had a message for him.
Get better, then you can come out here with us.
In Boyle County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Thompson is expected to make a full recovery. We have new information tonight about a Central Kentucky woman seriously injured in a cycling wreck last month in France. Former state auditor Bob Babbage wrote in a Facebook post that his wife Laura is now recovering at Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation Hospital. Laura was injured last month while riding in a cycling event in France. It is part picnic, part politics. The annual Fancy Farm Picnic in Western Kentucky is known as the official start of campaign season in the Bluegrass. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Graves County.
What time is it, folks?
Every first Saturday in August.
I believe Trump will restore America again.
People turn out to Fancy Farm for political theater.
And because we're good Democrats and unifiers and peacemakers, we're not throwing the bums out.
Where the crowd is as much of the show as those performing from the stage.
How doth Hillary hate us?
Oh, 64.
They come for bingo and barbecue. But the main act is always the afternoon political stump speaking. It's been going on for nearly 100 years.
I am Jim Gray, and I am the guy who is going to beat Rand Paul.
This was the Lexington mayor's first trip to Fancy Farm.
Kentucky deserves a senator whose sole focus is Kentucky.
He's facing Rand Paul, who last year missed the picnic to focus on his presidential race. The Gray supporters showed T-shirts that he joked Paul should push.
Complete with the testimonial from your buddy Donald Trump, which says Rand Paul is using the people of Kentucky.
Paul pointed out the center point problem in attacking Gray.
I heard the real reason that the big hole is still there, why he stopped work on the big hole, because he heard there was coal in it.
Underlying themes of Clinton versus Trump were behind many of the barbs thrown from the stage.
Supporters of Clinton need to apologize to the 15,000 Kentucky coal workers they put out of business.
Fancy Farm, a Kentucky town that in August becomes the main event. In Graves County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Fancy Farm started in 1880. The event's political stump speaking started in the 1920s. Still ahead on WKYT, the dead are breathing life into a small Kentucky town. We'll take you to Cynthiana for Walking Dead Day. And security is tight in Rio. U.S. leaders have a warning for tourists there for the Olympic Games.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
We had some decent rainmakers move through central Kentucky and southeastern Kentucky earlier today, but now I think it's pretty quiet out there. Still on the sticky side, we've got some moisture. It's just hanging out in the air, and we do have a lingering shower or two to our south. I'll show you those in a moment. Right now, it's 74 degrees in Lexington, humidity at 71%, so again, a little on the thick side. Winds are coming in out of the north-northeast around 7 miles per hour. In the coming days, we're going to have moisture still feeding in as the disturbance will be riding along a boundary that's going to be south of Kentucky, but it'll keep rain chances alive for several days. Right now, area-wide, you're going to find a lot of low 70s and many more mid-70s as well. Covington, though, down to 69 up there. So rather summer-like night, to say the very least, for us. Anywhere you look, here's what we have on our Defender radar network. A little shower activity showing up in Pulaski and also over into Rockcastle and Laurel counties tonight. Very light little shower passing by there just south of Mount Vernon, and you can see it just hanging out for a little while on I-75, and you can see some of the areas off to the west as well being impacted, if you really call that an impact, more of a nuisance than anything else. Here's what we have on a larger scale, frontal boundary. That's what I was just talking about, that dropped in on us, brought those chances of showers and thunderstorms. And you can see it's well off to our south now, getting closer to Knoxville, Tennessee. But it won't go far, at least as far as the energy is concerned. Now, there's a part of it that's really going to sag to the south, but waves of energy will keep the moisture alive and some variation of this frontal boundary as well to keep us active. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow has a very small rain chance, 10% most of the area. You get into parts of southeastern Kentucky, we'll bump it up to about a 20% chance, call it isolated out there. So hit and miss showers for this particular location. That's really about it. The rest of us will be mainly on the dry side. So watch for isolated showers there. You can see them in our hour-by-hour run. We take you through the overnight into the early morning hours. There's those upper 60s, low 70s, very uncomfortable start to the day. And then the moisture comes together as we get into the afternoon. A little shower or two trying to creep in southern and eastern Kentucky. And then we get into your Monday. That's where we're going to see a better chance for showers coming in from the southeast and increasing toward the northwest. And that they also try to get into central Kentucky as well with chances for showers and thunderstorms, but better chances to the south and east, Kristen, again on Monday, but again, it's a little more active beyond that.
When was the last time we had a week where there was just no rain in the forecast?
That's
Winter,
a very good question.
maybe?
That's a good question. It's been a while.
Well, because of all this rain, the Valley View Ferry that runs in Fayette, Jessamine, and Madison counties is shut down right now. Lexington leaders decided to close it temporarily because of the high water conditions. They do not know when they'll reopen. Next on WKYT, security is tight around the Olympic Park in Rio. What new concerns police have with the games underway. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $38 million. Now that the Olympic Games are underway, security around Rio de Janeiro is expected to get even tighter. But even with police on every corner, there are still flaws in the system. Saturday, a bomb squad blew up an unattended bag near the finish line of the men's cycling road race. No one was hurt. More than 80,000 officers and military personnel are in Rio. There are about 500,000 tourists there for the games.
There's a cop car in every single corner with the lights on and everything like that. So,
does that make you feel safe?
Yeah, plus the Army's walking around and driving trucks around all the time, so I don't think there should be any problems.
People living in Rio claim police brutality is on the rise because of the games. Some journalists say they've been able to get into the Olympic Park without having their backpacks checked. The U.S. State Department is warning travelers of a high risk for thefts, armed robbery, and credit card and ATM scams. The first ever Walking Dead Day in Cynthiana is in the books. Tens of thousands of zombies were in town for the festival. The day was a homecoming for Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore, the creators of the popular comic and TV show The Walking Dead. The pair posed in front of a road sign that now bears their names.
I got to go downtown this morning because I showed up a little early and there were already people there, and I got to shake a lot of hands. And, you know, I didn't kiss a baby, but I did sign the back of a baby's onesie, which was pretty exciting. And it's just great to see the people and get to talk to everyone.
Organizers gave out 10,000 copies of the first issue of the graphic novel. Its special cover features Pike Street in Cynthiana. And we have some congratulations to pass along tonight. WKYT is well represented at the Ohio Valley Regional Emmy Awards in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. WKYT's Sean Moody picked up a win in the General Assignment Reporting category. Investigative reporter Miranda Combs and videographer Barton Bill were also nominated for an award tonight. We are proud of our team. Lee K is in next with sports with UK Fan Day.
Yeah, this is always one of the best days of the football preseason, a chance for the fans to meet their favorite players. And following Fan Day, the team got on the field for their second practice of the preseason. Stoops had good things to say about those receivers. That's next in sports.
It's a great day for Media Day, Fan Day, great weekend. Happy to be out here. I'm happy, excited for everybody. We're having a great time.
Thank you, Chris Westry. The Fan Day, always a highlight of the opening weekend of the preseason camp for Kentucky football. And if there are any questions concerning the fans' excitement regarding the upcoming football season, look no further than Fan Day. Early this morning, hundreds of UK fans stood in line at the Nutter Indoor Practice Facility to get an autograph from their favorite players and coaches. One of the longest lines was for Mark Stoops himself. And after getting their autographs, well, the fans went out to the new practice fields to get their first look at the team. Mark Stoops said that he was pleased with the practice portion of the Fan Day, particularly the wide receivers who were being asked to raise the level of their game this season.
I like seeing that. I like seeing good coverage and good catches because that's what's going to happen. You don't, again, you've heard me talk about it. You don't want one side to have success because the other side's not doing their job and leaving things wide open or being inept and not playing the way you're supposed to. You want to see competitive plays.
And two of the four guys who will be immortalized by a statue at Commonwealth Stadium were signing autographs as well earlier this morning. Wilbur Hackett and Nate Northington, two of the four trailblazers in integrating the SEC, were part of Fan Day this morning.
They're back with all of our ex-alumni, so it's good to have them, and I thought it was appropriate because they're on the poster, and we're recognizing those guys, and it was good for our fans to be able to see them and spend some time with them.
Yeah, what a great thing to do there. Meanwhile, Mark Stoops announced today that cornerback Jared Tucker has decided to transfer. Number 23 there on the video, the three-star recruit out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Tucker played in just 3 games during the 2015 season as a redshirt freshman. The first week of the Bengals training camp is complete up in Cincinnati. Today, the team practiced inside of Paul Brown Stadium in front of more than 7,000 fans for Family Day. The practice featured a mock scrimmage. Afterwards, the players stayed around to sign autographs. Marvin Lewis said that the game-like situation was good for his team.
It's a mechanical thing for the coaches, for somewhat the players, and some sideline substitution and things like that. So yeah, things we wanted to do, we got done. Put the quarterbacks in different situations, put the play callers in a little different situations, so it was good.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame welcomed its 8 newest members this evening to Canton, headlined by a former Packers quarterback named Favre. The class includes former 49ers owner Edward DiBartolo Jr., coach Tony Dungy, and players Marvin Harrison, Orlando Pace, Dick Stanfield, Kevin Green, and Ken Stabler. Brett Favre joked that he may still have one comeback left in him.
I'm going to ask Mike McCarthy and Ted Thompson if I could play the first series tomorrow night. Believe me, I'm blessed. I'm an extremely blessed man. I look at my family. What a lucky man. To play a game that I love so much for 20 years, to have all the wonderful things happen, what a blessing.
What a blessing it was. Well, the high school football season kicks off in 2 weeks, and Chuck Smith has many new players to replace at Boyle County. Graduation equals opportunity, though, for the Rebels. The Rebels graduated 19 seniors off of last year's team, including their quarterback, running back, 2 top receivers, and top 5 leading tacklers. Despite many new faces, though, this season, Chuck Smith is confident that he can find players that can produce.
We lost 19 seniors off of last year's team, and a lot of those kids played. So we got a lot of new faces. It's created an opportunity for new stars to be born and new players to step up and prove that they can lead and they can also play and be impact players.
And USA Basketball picked up a dominating win in its first preliminary round game at the Rio Olympics, 119-62 over China. DeMarcus Cousins had 17 points and 5 rebounds. Kevin Durant led the way with 25. Next up is Venezuela on Monday.
Got a lot of games going on right now.
I mean, it's the Olympic Games, so there's a lot going.
We'll be right back with a final look at weather. I don't see any rain out there right now.
No rain out there tonight. All of it has wrapped up through central Kentucky. I didn't see much in that shot either. But as we get into the next several days, the chances of showers and thunderstorms will start to increase. Tomorrow is a brief break in the rain. I have 10% chance. I never put that. The only reason I'm doing it is because across southern and eastern Kentucky, they might have a stray shower or 2, but most of us will stay on the dry side through the day.
I thought it was because you don't want to have a single day up there for the last month that didn't have at least a chance of rain, so you wanted to stay consistent.
Wanted to keep the trend going. We don't have to wait too long because it picks right back up.
Hope you have a good night. Thanks for joining us right here on WKYT.